Finding a good job and climbing a corporate ladder are things that a lot of people aspire. And it's also the aspiration and goal of a lot of my peers up until this day. And today, I want to share with you why I decided not to climb the corporate ladder. Hi everyone, my name is Ken. I run a company focusing on corporate training, business consulting, and employee engagement. We've worked with more than 10 multinational companies and more than 2,500 employees across 15 different countries. I want to share with you a little bit about my story when I graduated university about 2 years back. Graduated, and I had always known that I wanted to start a business, but in what industry and what business exactly, I wasn't sure. As such, I did the responsible thing of applying to a bunch of jobs. And within about 2 months, I managed to secure a job. My first job was in a training company, and I thought it was pretty good because it gave a pretty high basic salary for a fresh graduate. I was earning about 4.5k Malaysian ringgit, and that's excluding commissions and allowances. So with commissions and allowances, it could go up to 6 and even sometimes 6.57k in a very good month. And I thought it was great. And within about a year of working, I was given another job offer, another sales offer. And this time they bumped my basic up to 6,000 ringgit. And I thought that I wanted to quit my first job because the second job was offering a salary, a basic salary that was about 35% higher. And I thought that, hey, what if I did the thing where I negotiated with my first job while also accepting the second job? And I did that. And my jobs happened to allow me to do that because my second job required me to work after the conventional 9 to 5, which meant that I would work from 6 p.m. to about 12 or 1 a.m. And like that, I was working 12k a month as a fresh graduate. And that's only basic salary, excluding all commissions. And I thought, hey, this is great. I was doing pretty well, and I was earning a 5-figure income as a fresh graduate, something that I'd never thought I'd be able to do. In fact, when I was trying to hunt for my first ever job, I'd heard a lot of recruiters say that it's impossible for a fresh graduate to earn this much. And when they say this much, they're referring to only 4.5k. And I thought, hey, now I kind of broken through my own ceiling because I was earning a 5-figure income. And something came to my mind eventually then. I was thinking, hey, I was earning about 12k a month right now. So how do I go from 12k to say 15k or to say 20k? And what would the trajectory look like? Because I was in sales roles, it was evident that I would not be getting an increment anytime soon, which meant that I'd only rely on my commissions, but that too was unstable. And so gathering my experience, I decided to quit both of my jobs and start my own business. And the reason I did that, even though it was at that time seemingly a stupid choice because I was letting go of a 5-figure stable income, it was because of two main things. The first thing was what I'd alluded to earlier. I did not see how I could continue breaking through my income. Being in employment does not seem to allow that. Maybe in some industries like tech, finance, you would be able to do that. But I think for the most part, your increments are extremely gradual. We're looking at about a 10-12% increment. If you're in a really good and rich company, maybe about a 30% increment. And to me, that was still pretty slow because there'll also be a ceiling. Once you've reached about a 20k, 30k basic salary, if you're about 35 years old, I don't see how you could easily go up to 50 until you are in your late 40s. So I thought that business, however, would allow me to do that. And looking at how business is doing right now, I think it has allowed me to very quickly gather a lot of income in a short period of time. Of course, there are risks involved, but that's how business is like. The second thing, or the second reason that I decided not to climb the corporate ladder and to start my own business was because I realized that working in a corporate job, or working in any jobs for that matter, unless you are really in a small, lean company, does not allow you to fulfill your potential. And what I mean by that is that your potential in your interests. Because many a time when you're working a job, you're required to do a lot of logistical work that really is none of your business and really will take up the most of your time. When I was in sales, for example, I found myself doing a lot more paperwork than I was really meeting clients. Or the life would be something along the lines of I spend 1 week that I'm meeting clients for the whole week, and I spend the second week really doing a lot of paperwork. I'm not saying that business does not allow for that, but business allows you the freedom of time. There's no specific clock in and clock out hours, which meant that I was able to do a lot of things that I really wanted, outsource some of the things that I did not want to business partners with the corresponding strengths, and focus on my keen interests. And right now, I would say that my keen interest would be to build my personal brand, which is why I'm recording this video, producing content. And I've also published my first ebook, my memoir, which you can download, and the link is in the description. The second interest would be to be the best I can in delivering corporate training sessions. So the groundwork for that would mean reading a lot, practicing speaking a lot, practicing articulating my ideas in a way that's clear and coherent. And I really am not bothered by anything else. And those are the two main reasons that I decided to start my own business, because of the limit as far as my income was concerned. And of course, there's a temporal aspect as well. When I say limit, I'm not saying that you can't go more than 5-figure when you're working employment. I'm speaking temporally as well. In the next 5 years, how much are you able to earn? I think business would allow for a much higher figure than that. Second thing would be to fulfill my potential in my interests. I feel that being in employment does not or did not allow me to do that, from my experience anyway. So I hope you learned something new. If you're thinking to start a business, I would highly encourage you to do so. And of course, there are risks involved, but that's what business is about. The risks are there, but the rewards are also there if you're willing to put your head down and work really hard. I hope you've learned something new. If you have, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with me your thoughts and ideas, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.